Okay, it's time for phase 4 of our kitchen remodel. Now we're painting the backsplash. We're gonna do this in 2 main phases. First, I'm gonna sand the whole thing. The product that we're using says that you don't have to. It's this Rust-Oleum Home. It's actually floor paint. But we're gonna use it on the backsplash. It says that you don't have to sand, but I'd rather do it and then be happy that I did it than not do it and be upset that I didn't do it. It's got 2 parts. Part 1 is the tint, and then part 2 is a top coat, like getting your nails done. What we used in the bathroom before was a different kind of product. It was mixing 2 together. It was like an epoxy glaze. This is actually just paint and then top coat, so it won't be as harsh with the fumes, and should be easier to clean up and stuff too. So let's get to it. You know what time it is? What?
Painting time!
Painting time.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is the paint that we're using. It's the Rust-Oleum Home floor paint. First, we're gonna see how long it takes us to open it up because it came with these.
I want to try.
Oh, that's not bad. Go ahead.
I want to do three more of them.
Okay. While he's doing that, I'm gonna talk about what we're using. I have a nylon bristle brush, a small 3/8 inch nap roller,
That one.
my baby brush because I don't trust tape, and I got one in my hair.
Oops.
And then
It just flew off and I was like, where'd it go?
And then instead of a big paint tray, because we have a little guy, I'm just using like an old Tupperware container that's broken on the end.
Yeah, gotta get it. Come here. This little guy flew off the counter.
Welcome home.
Thanks.
You want to come see it?
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
What do you think?
Yeah, looks good.
You like it?
Do you?
I do. This is the most difficult paint I've ever worked with.
Oh, really? Why's that?
It's thin, so that made it really hard to work with, and it drips everywhere. And it's really hard to get it in these particular tiles. It's really hard to get in the cracks of the tiles. And just like the little notches everywhere. But I think it looks really good.
It looks better than it did.
Well, yeah. Hi,
Hi.
what are you doing?
Scraping really disgusting.
Ew, that does look really disgusting.
Old caulking out from under the sink, and we're gonna replace it with new stuff.
Cool, what else are we replacing?
The faucet
Yay!
and switches and outlets.
Yeah, we weren't really planning on doing multiple steps at one time, but this is finishing up phase 4, which is the backsplash. So that's the outlets and the switches. And you're also working on phase 5 right now, which is replacing the sink. I was trying to think of something that rhymes with 5 to make something funny, but I don't have anything. 5 Alive.
That was a drink. Did you ever have the drink, 5 Alive?
No.
Wasn't that a drink? A juice? I think it was a juice.
Is this a Canadian thing?
I don't think so. Maybe Midwestern?
Comment below. Have you ever heard of 5 Alive? What is it called?
5 Alive.
5 Alive. So in order to know what kind of outlets you need, you gotta check on your breakers. So our kitchen breakers are these right up here. These two ones that say kitchen. And when you look on the very edge of the breaker, you'll see a number right there. It says 20. These are 20 amp circuits. Some of them, you look down here, they say 15. This is quite dirty. Let me clean this off. But that's how you'll know which kind of outlet you need to buy. Most of the kitchen stuff is 20. It should be 20. If you saw our last kitchen video, you'll know that there were not 20 amp outlets installed. There were 20 amp circuits, but they were only 15 amp outlets. I just turned the power off to the outlets in the kitchen. So now I'm taking my, what's this thing called? Power checker. Yeah. So, but you just stick it in there. Make sure it should stay green the whole time to show that there's no power to those outlets. I'm gonna check all the outlets and the switches to make sure that there's no power running to them, and then go ahead and take them out and start replacing them. This is what it looks like if the power is still on. Don't touch that, it's hot. Jonathan is finishing.
You tighten this one already?
Yes, the black marker. Jonathan's finishing up this because I've had to do each outlet like twice, and it's been incredibly frustrating, and I almost ripped the outlet out of the wall. So thanks, Jonathan, for finishing. He also finished up the faucet and got everything all waterproofed, got all the gross old stuff out of there. It's looking great. All right, this is the third or fourth time we're working on outlets. And
oh, I don't know. I don't keep track of stuff like that.
oh, well, I think this is the third time. And we're having to redo the face plates because, will you tell everybody?
Well, if you swing over this way, you can see.
Okay.
Because Brittany didn't paint that, so we got to get oversized outlets.
First of all, that is not true.
Or covers.
It's not that I didn't paint it.
Didn't paint it.
It's that that's cut in. Although I guess if I had painted like behind, you wouldn't be able to notice it as much. Listen, it was hard to paint this, okay? So you just need to be nice.
That's all right, because I had to over tighten these anyway, so we can loosen these up just a tiny little bit so they're not set back as far.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how can you tell if they were over tightened just because they were set further back in there, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, I want them to be secure, so I don't want them like moving around, at all. But they were set back from the plate a little bit, which means they're probably like bent in here a little bit, so you can see it come forward.
Yeah, you actually can.
So.
They still look like they're in quite a bit from the side. I didn't notice it until I'm filming on the side.
Well, okay.
Let's see what it looks like. Okay, we're moving the switches again. And there's actually a good amount of like movement that you can do there, right?
Yeah, there's a little space at the top here where the screw can move around, and so you can kind of shift them over. So we'll see if we can cover up that spot on the side a little bit better.
All right. That looks so much better. That's it. We are done with phases 4 and 5 of the kitchen. Phase 4 was finished the backsplash. Took us about 2 hours to do that, plus extra work on the outlets. So it was like probably 3 hours total time for everything. That doesn't include drying time on the paint, but about 3 hours of active time. We spent on this part of the project, it was the most expensive part so far, it was $101. We spent $52 on paint and roller, and $49 on all the outlets, switches, and covers, but it looks great. Huge change in here so far. And then phase 5 was just changing out the faucet on Amazon. It was only $48. We happened just upon it when it was on sale. It's normally about $100, so we got a really good deal. We really like this faucet too. We also siliconed around everything, but we had some leftover silicone, so we didn't pay anything for that, but you're gonna pay about $5 or $6 if you grab a container of that. Now, total for phases 4 and 5 is $149. Pretty good for the big changes that you see here. And the next phase is gonna be our last phase for right now for the kitchen. We can't wait to share it with you. We'll see you soon.